I mean, I remember we had Andrew Pollock in our last film, Trump Card. He was the parent of a young woman who was killed at Parkland, in the Parkland massacre. And I remember him saying that this kid had major problems all the way through. The shooter. He was known to be a psycho. He had been diagnosed that way. And yet, and he had all these violations that would justify the school keeping him away.
Or putting him in an institution at best, you know?
Yes.
I mean, that should have happened. Should have happened. And it didn't. So anyway, so all that to say that that these politicians are very quick to always go after the gun lobby. They always are. I mean, it's predictable. And the problem is that, guys, that's not going to solve it. These people, these crazy people, these lunatics running among us are always going to be able to get a hold of a weapon, regardless. But us, law-abiding citizens, are going to be held sort of captive because we are not going to be able to defend ourselves. And as you know, even if you call 911, it takes a while for them to get there.
Well, notice that in Parkland, it took them a long time.
A long time to get there. Even in this case, in Uvalde, you know, it was, they didn't get there in time, obviously.
Look how many casualties.
Yes. So I don't know if you remember, there was a while ago when they were saying that they should equip teachers with guns, that teachers should be allowed to carry weapons. I think that is a fantastic idea. I don't know why they didn't do it in Texas. They should have done it in Texas. They should also have a marshal at every school in Texas that it really stands guard at the door. Because, you know, they do make it difficult for parents to go in and see their children. You have to go through all these, you know, checks and whatever. But these people, you know, they go in and they do whatever they want, you know. So I think that if they know that it's not going to be as easy as they think going into these types of places, establishments, I think there's going to be less of this. I really do. But moreover, I do think that these policies need to change for mental health. I really do.
Why do you think, I mean, honey, this this gun issue along with the abortion issue,
yes,
this is their issue. It's a high priority for the left. But why is that? Is it because a disarmed citizenry is vulnerable to government control?
Absolutely. That is part of it. Why else would they do it? Why else would they want an unarmed citizenry? I mean, think about it. It makes no sense. Nothing else makes sense. Because when you think about it, are they disarmed? Do these liberals, do they have, you know, weapons? Do they have bodyguards? Right? Yeah, right? Of course. They know that it's important to be able to take care of themselves.
I mean, also think about it. How many mass shootings have you seen at like a gun range, right?
Never. I mean, you know, so it's just really, to me, it's very political. And as we talked about, you know, the abortion issue, the reason that these leftists, that these Democrats have to win elections, they have to, right? Regardless, is they want to control the gun lobby in America. They want to control the abortion debate in America. They really want to control pretty much everything in America, including your finances. And so they actually have to do that in order to basically say, we have America. We have you captured. So I do think that people need to be more aware that this happens every time there's a mass shooting. These leftists come on and say, oh, see, it's the gun. When in fact, I think if you have any kind of common sense, you know that it's not the gun, just as it isn't the car, or it isn't the knife, or it isn't the bat, or it isn't any other weapon. And so I think once people understand that, they will begin to see what these people, the types of shenanigans that these people pull on their citizenry, because they want control.
I mean, it really shows you how foresighted the founders were When I first came to America, of course, I grew up in a society without guns. But when I came to America, I was a little puzzled at the Second Amendment. Like, why put it in there? And I thought, well, maybe it's because it's a frontier society.
They had it going on.
Yeah.
They knew that this was, and maybe it was more than that, because obviously back then it was more, people were more the Wild West types, where they would do duels and things like that, which were really horrible. I would not want that to be the case anymore. And it's not the case. And so this is why you have to understand it is mental health, not a gun, that is killing our society.